Have you ever found yourself in situations where you tried your hardest, gave up who you are, or sacrificed your own happiness to please a woman? You are not alone. Many men go through this, thinking it is the key to harmony and affection. However, will I tell you that there is ancient wisdom that suggests a different approach? I'm talking about Stoicism. Now, let's explore the fundamental principles of this philosophy to discover 6 values that should not be compromised by anyone, be it a woman or anyone else. Guys, this isn't about blaming or saying you shouldn't care about the women in your life. Rather, it's about understanding how to care in a healthy way, respecting yourself and others, resulting in more satisfying relationships. Imagine canceling plans you were excited about because of her desire to do something different. Changing your values to fit hers, even when it doesn't feel right. Or even losing contact with friends because she didn't appreciate them. Do these situations sound familiar? These scenarios do not lead to balanced, healthy relationships. On the contrary, they lead to resentment and loss of identity. Friends, don't worry, Stoicism can help us navigate the complexities of relationships without losing our essence. Let's understand this journey together now. I found the 6th theme very interesting, don't miss it for anything. 1. Maintain personal freedom. Communication is an essential skill for human coexistence. It is through it that we are able to express ourselves, listen, understand and relate to the world around us. Communication can be verbal, non-verbal, written or even visual. Regardless of the form, it is important to know how to convey our message clearly and effectively. Good communication can avoid misunderstandings, conflicts and disagreements. It is essential to build healthy relationships, both personally and professionally. Knowing how to communicate assertively can bring benefits such as greater productivity, improvements in interpersonal relationships and even personal development. Furthermore, communication is also directly linked to the development of empathy and the ability to put oneself in someone else's shoes. By communicating empathetically, we are able to better understand the needs and feelings of the people around us, strengthening our relationships and contributing to a more harmonious environment. It is important to remember that communication is not just about the words we say, but also about the tone of voice, facial expressions, gestures, and body posture. Therefore, it is essential to be aware of these aspects to ensure effective communication. In short, communication is the basis for building healthy relationships, developing interpersonal skills and achieving goals in different life contexts. Therefore, it is essential to invest in improving this skill and look for ways to improve the way we express ourselves and relate to the people around us. 2. Prioritize personal growth. It is a continuous and challenging journey that leads us to explore our limits, overcome obstacles and constantly evolve. It is essential that we dedicate ourselves to expanding our horizons, acquiring new knowledge and developing our skills to reach our true potential. The pursuit of personal growth requires self-discipline, perseverance and a mindset of constant learning. We must be willing to step out of our comfort zone, face our fears and challenge our limiting beliefs. Only then can we grow and transform into better versions of ourselves. It is important to set clear goals and define an action plan to achieve them. We must commit to investing time and effort in our own evolution, whether through reading, practicing new skills, participating in courses and workshops or developing new experiences. By prioritizing personal growth, we are investing in ourselves and building a solid foundation for a full and meaningful life. In this process, it is essential that we cultivate virtues such as resilience, gratitude, empathy and humility, which will help us face challenges with wisdom and balance. Personal growth also involves the search for self-knowledge and self-acceptance. We must be willing to recognize our weaknesses, learn from our mistakes and forgive ourselves for our failures. Only when we truly know ourselves can we make conscious choices and align our actions with our values and life purpose. In short, prioritizing personal growth is a commitment to yourself, a constant search for excellence and fulfillment. It is an invitation to embrace the journey of self-transformation, continually reinvent yourself and become the best version of yourself. So, don't leave it for later, start investing in your personal growth today and reap the rewards of a more meaningful and rewarding life. 3. Healthy expression of emotions. It is a fundamental practice for mental and emotional well-being. Being able to recognize, process and express our feelings in an authentic and constructive way is essential to dealing with life's challenges positively. People often tend to suppress their emotions, which can lead to long-term mental and physical health problems. Expressing our emotions in healthy ways involves being honest with ourselves and others about what we're feeling. This might mean talking about our feelings with a trusted friend, a therapist, or even writing in a journal. The important thing is to find ways to externalize what is in our hearts and minds, instead of letting them stay inside us. It is important to emphasize that expressing our emotions in a healthy way does not mean taking our feelings out on others or acting impulsively. Instead, it means finding constructive ways to deal with what we're feeling, such as breathing exercises, meditation, practicing hobbies or physical activity. By cultivating the ability to express our emotions in healthy ways, we can strengthen our relationships, improve our mental and emotional health, and find greater balance in our lives. Learning to deal with our emotions in a positive and constructive way is an ongoing process, but it is worth investing time and effort. With practice and patience, we can develop a healthier relationship with our feelings and live more authentically and fully. 4. Maintain independence. It is a virtue that must be cultivated with care and determination. Being independent means not being overly dependent on other people or circumstances to achieve our goals and living in accordance with our values. It is a constant exercise in self-knowledge, self-acceptance and self-mastery. Independence allows us to make decisions based on our own reason and conscience, without being too influenced by the opinions of others. It's knowing how to say no when necessary, defending our principles and values, even if it means swimming against the current. Being independent means having the courage to follow our own path, even if it is lonely. Maintaining independence requires discipline and determination, as we are often tempted to give in to social, family or professional pressure to follow a certain pattern of life or behavior. It is necessary to be aware of your own desires and needs, cultivating a firm and resilient stance in the face of adversity. Independence does not mean isolation or individualism, but rather the ability to relate in a healthy and balanced way with others, establishing clear limits and respecting the autonomy of others. It's knowing how to ask for help when necessary, without losing your own identity or submitting to other people's interests. Maintaining independence is a daily challenge that forces us to question our beliefs and values, review our choices and take responsibility for our own lives. It is an exercise in freedom and authenticity, which makes us stronger, more confident and capable of facing challenges with serenity and determination. Being independent means not letting yourself be put down by criticism or fear of failure, but having the courage to persist in your goals and move forward, despite the difficulties. It is knowing that true freedom is within ourselves, and that we can only be truly free when we cultivate inner independence, emotional autonomy, and moral integrity. Maintaining independence is an act of courage and wisdom, which allows us to live with integrity and dignity, honoring our own being and contributing to a more just and humane world. It is a legacy that we leave for future generations, an example of bravery and resilience in the face of adversity. Let us, therefore, be independent in thought, words and actions, and thus we will walk with dignity and firmness towards our destiny. 5. Authenticity over compliance. It is one of the fundamental principles of Stoicism, as it preaches that we must remain true to ourselves, acting in accordance with our values and principles, regardless of social pressures and the need to conform to the expectations of others. Being authentic requires courage and integrity, as it often means going against the grain, questioning the status quo and taking risks in the name of one's truth. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom lies in being authentic, expressing our individuality and living according to our own conscience. This implies not giving in to social conventions or letting yourself be influenced by the fear of other people's judgment. Being authentic is having the courage to be who we are, even if it means being in a minority or being misunderstood. Authenticity is also related to self-awareness and self-knowledge, as we can only be authentic when we are clear about our values, beliefs, and purposes. Knowing yourself is essential to staying true to yourself and not letting yourself be carried away by external influences. Authenticity helps us build more solid and genuine relationships, because when we are authentic, we attract people who accept us as we are and value us for what we truly represent. Living authentically does not mean being individualistic or selfish, but rather seeking harmony between our personal needs and the demands of the outside world. Being authentic means being true to yourself and others, acting with honesty, transparency, and respect. Authenticity makes us more resilient in the face of adversity and stronger in our ability to face challenges. However, being authentic is not an easy path, as it requires a constant exercise of self-control, self-acceptance, and self-improvement. We must have the humility to recognize our limitations, the courage to face our fears, and the determination to persist in our purposes, even in the face of difficulties. Authenticity challenges us to step out of our comfort zone, question our beliefs, and constantly seek personal and spiritual growth. In short, authenticity is essential for a full and meaningful life, as it allows us to live in accordance with our deepest values, connecting us with our true essence and allowing us to contribute positively to the world around us. Being authentic is an act of courage and wisdom, which frees us from the shackles of conformity and enables us to live with integrity, authenticity, and fullness. 6. Balancing passion with reason. Balancing passion with reason is a challenging and at the same time essential task to achieve fulfillment and success in all areas of life. Passion drives us, motivates us, and makes us feel alive, but if it is not tempered by reason, it can lead us to impulsive decisions and unwanted consequences. On the other hand, reason brings us the clarity, logic, and analysis necessary to make wise and well-founded decisions, but if it is excessive, it can make us cold and dispassionate. To balance passion with reason, it is necessary to cultivate the virtues of moderation and self-discipline. It is important to recognize and accept our emotions, but also to know when it is time to act calmly and rationally. It's like taming a wild horse. We need the passion to drive the horse, but also the reason to direct its strength in the right way. Furthermore, it is essential to develop the capacity for self-control and self-knowledge. Knowing our limits, our weaknesses, and our passions helps us to act in a balanced and conscious way. The practice of meditation, mindfulness, and reflection can also be powerful tools for developing this inner harmony. In the professional field, balancing passion with reason can help us make more assertive decisions, lead with empathy, and stay focused on the end goal, without letting ourselves be carried away by impulses or excessive emotions. On a personal level, this harmony allows us to build healthier relationships, where emotion and reason complement and strengthen each other. In short, balancing passion with reason is a constant exercise in self-control and wisdom. It is the art of flowing with emotions, but also of having the mental clarity necessary to act consciously and responsibly. When we find this balance, we are able to live more fully, happily, and successfully in all areas of life.